With Jesus, you have the strength to give that up. A lot of us, we try to stop these things with our own strength. So maybe you're struggling with lust or addiction to substances, or maybe you're struggling with, depression or whatever the case may be. A lot of us, we try to stop these things with our own strength. We try to think that, man, if I just try really hard and stay away from this, if I just try not to look at this and try not to go there, I'm gonna be straight and I'm gonna run away from that thing. But that's not how it works. Unfortunately, our flesh is way too powerful for us to try to fight on our own, and that's why we need Jesus. It says in Galatians 5:16, abide in the spirit and you will not fulfill the lust of the flesh. The more you draw to God, the farther you're going to draw away from the things of the world, and vice versa. The more you keep entertaining things of this world, the more you keep, longing after temptation and longing to try to please your flesh and trying to lash out because you're angry and try to envy after people and try to lust after women. The more you keep trying to do these things, you're going to feel farther and farther away from God, and that's why you feel stuck. Understand that whenever you feel stuck, whenever you feel like you can't go to God, it's not because God's not there. It's always something you got to reflect and ask yourself, what am I doing in my life? Because Jesus is always sitting there with open arms. You can go to God anytime you want to, but a lot of times we feel like we can't go to God because of all the things that we're struggling with, because of the guilt and because of the shame that we put on ourselves. But go to God with all these things. Go to God with your invulnerability. Go to God with all your struggles, with all the things that you're dealing with. We need to stop acting like we have to come to God in this perfected heart where we're like, we go to God and we're like, okay, Lord, I'm living fully pure, I'm 100% staying away from lust, staying away from sin, so now I can finally go to God. That's not how it works. We don't have to act like that, because none of us are perfect, and the enemy wants us to stay where we're at. The enemy wants us to feel like we can't go to God. The enemy wants us to feel like, oh man, you just can't fight off lust, you just can't fight off addiction, you just can't fight off envy. That's just what comes with life. But no, you can fight it off. You can overcome it in the name of Jesus.